Hey, it's Thanksgiving time. Welcome back to the Scissors and Scrubs. I'm Nicole.
I'm Laura.
And even though it's Thanksgiving, we're going to do an episode that has absolutely nothing to do with Thanksgiving.
No, but it's like this time of year.
It's on our mind a lot.
It's depressing.
It's on our mind a lot. We're talking about what I hate most, daylight savings time. If I wish anything in the political season could come to one consensus, is to fucking dump daylight savings time.
No, we actually want daylight savings. We don't want standard time because we're in standard time. Right
Whatever
now.
it is.
I know.
I don't want this.
Well, I don't want people to vote the wrong way, Nicole.
Who? Well, nobody's voting on it because they won't put it up for election. Who wants to be in the dark at 3:30 in the afternoon?
Not me.
Anybody?
Not
Anybody
me.
voting for that? Because I'm not. Because I'm in pajamas
I think
by
it's
4.
the one thing we can all agree on.
Yes, that it just sucks.
Yeah.
It is a bipartisan event.
Yes.
So we are going to talk about daylight savings, where it came from, and then we are going to talk about seasonal affect disorder,
Which we both have.
which we both suffer from. I am literally writing it the other day, and I'm like, I am every one of these things.
I have all of
I
these
have
symptoms.
every single one of these symptoms. And I diagnosed myself, which means I need a trip to Aruba. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only way to cure it, apparently.
Oh, perfect.
At least in my eyes. All right, Sparkles.
All right. I got this from healthnews.com, Yahoo Life, and U.S. News.
Yahoo Life, is that a reputable source?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Daylight savings was introduced in the U.S. in 1918.
1918.
Why?
World War I. It was 1918.
It was
Spanish flu was coming. Is that why?
no. So people think the farmers, right? Like they wanted to
Extra
do their
daylight
farms.
for-
And,
yeah.
Wrong. No.
Wrong.
They actually asked for it to be repealed in 1919. The farmers, saying the changes were disruptive to their schedule.
I believe it.
Yep.
Because they're very regimented, those
and
farmers.
like it's gonna screw up when the light
Right.
comes out. Every animals, all of us are
Right.
based on light. Like so.
Oh, my cat gets all
yeah.
fucked up when daylight. So
Yeah.
he's
So
up at
imagine
4
the
looking to go out. I'm like,
cattle.
what are you doing?
Like
yeah.
that would be insane.
Yeah.
Some people say Ben Franklin. Wrong.
Well, Ben Franklin
some
was,
people
what,
think
1775. Oh,
But some people think he wrote about the idea of seasonal time change in a satirical essay. But the Franklin Institute says no, not true.
I didn't know he had his own institute.
Yep.
Excuse me.
It began so the U.S. could save energy during World War I.
All right, so it was war related.
It actually does not save that much money.
Not when your lights are on longer.
The daylight savings is the other end.
So the lights are off longer.
Yeah. The Uniform Act of 1966 got most of the country on the same page by mandating national start and end dates to daylight savings because there wasn't any. Though Hawaii, Arizona, American Samoa, Guam, Northern Mariana Islands, Puerto Rico, and U.S. Virgin Islands opt out of daylight savings time.
I remember when I lived in Hawaii, like, oh, we're only 5 hours behind now,
The end of daylight savings in November is easier to adjust to than the start of daylight savings in the spring, but it can still have negative consequences on your health.
Oh, I hate it.
The first negative consequence, sleep patterns are disrupted. In mammals, the strongest time signal is light. We all respond to oh, it must be morning, it's light. It must be night, it's dark. The system that coordinates our sleep-wake cycle is the
Circadian?
suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is in the anterior hypothalamus in the brain.
Laura, I didn't know you were going this into it. Shit.
Do you know where that sits?
No.
Directly above the optic chiasm.
Which makes sense.
So that's why light affects it so much. So this system receives light input from photosensitive retinal ganglion cells and sends signals to other regions of the brain to sleep or to wake. We live in a 24-hour rhythm, alternating light and dark cycles, our circadian rhythm. Light stimulates wakefulness and dark stimulates sleep pathways in the release of melatonin. The light and dark affect us greatly.
Which is why I want to be in bed before dinner.
Right. So that's our sleep patterns are completely thrown off when this happens.
100%.
The number 2 problem with the time change, the stroke risk grows up. A 2016 Finnish study found that moving the clock back or ahead an hour temporarily increases the risk of ischemic stroke, most likely thanks to disruption in our circadian rhythm.
That is the most random piece of information I have ever heard.
Number 3, depression increases.
Well, yeah.
A 2016 study showed depression diagnosis is immediately increased after standard time begins.
Did we really need a study for this? It's pretty common sense.
Maybe
bed
due
at
to
3.
SAD, which Nicole will talk about, which affects 5% of the population. Shorter, darker days bring more sadness. Physically, it can lead to sleepiness and fatigue, which leads to, number 4, car accidents increase. According to AAA, the Auto Club says early sunsets due to cause longer, darker driving conditions, leading to an increase of car accidents.
The winter sun
is so glaring.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Because there's no leaves breaking it up, and you're driving and it's like in your face. And if it's been snowing or rain and it's off the pavement, it's awful. Absolutely awful.
During standard time, daylight is less and more activities are indoors, limiting sun exposure more. Loss of light weakens the circadian rhythms alignment and can cause changes in sleep, cognition, mood, metabolism, immune health, cardiac function, and muscle strength.
Interesting.
So it's not like a joke.
Is that why I can't get up and walk?
Yes,
Because my muscle strength is diminished.
So how do we prepare for standard time? Gradually adjust your sleep and wake times. Push back bed and make times like 15 minutes earlier in the days leading up to it so that it's not such a shock to your system when...
Yeah, but we gain that hour in the fall.
In the fall, but you should adjust for that.
It doesn't phase me as much in the fall as much as I'm just depressed, but
it still disrupts your circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
The whole thing disrupts your circadian rhythm.
I'm always like, oh, I got an extra hour.
That one night, but then the next night it's like, oh shit,
right.
wait, it's dark early. So then you have to get used to going to bed at an earlier time. Establish a good bedtime routine, a calm evening routine that involves putting away electronic devices, especially blue light devices. Avoid hard exercise, heavy meals, caffeine, or alcohol before bed.
I have to avoid exercise. It just said it. It just said it.
Bed.
No, it said avoid exercise.
Get as much sunlight as you can.
Because it's only out for 2 hours.
Yeah, especially first thing in the morning. If you expose yourself to sunlight right away upon waking, it helps you feel more awake. Getting a good amount of sunlight every day can help decrease your risk of depression by 20%. I get up and go for a walk first thing in the morning.
I'm not that
especially when it's dark. Especially this time of year because I want to cry because there's no sun. Stick to the new sleep schedule. Try avoiding naps during the day. You're going to feel weird.
I avoid that anyway.
I always
I'd
think
be up all night if I napped.
But don't, like, if you're like, oh, it's so dark, like, let me just lay down. Don't, because then you just throw your rhythm
sleep
off.
till like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah. So the U.S. Senate in March 2022 passed a bipartisan bill named the Sunshine Protection Act, but it stalled in the House. The bill was reintroduced by Senator Marco Rubio in March this year. Then it was referred to committee where it remains idle. So it's still out there.
I wish they would just friggin' do it.
So everybody write to whoever you need to write to.
Let's end this bullshit.
Yeah. Get rid of standard time. Leave us in daylight savings time and call it a day. I think this is the one thing we can all agree on. This needs to be passed.
Definitely a bipartisan issue.
Yes.
We all hate it.
Get rid of us. Keep us in daylight savings. Get us out of standard time.
100%.
Yeah.
As I was saying, I was writing this and I have every single one of these symptoms. I hate this time of year. It immediately... I think there's also like a primal thing, like when humans don't want to be out in the dark because that's when things can hurt you. Right. And if it's dark at 3:30, 4 o'clock, we're not going out. We're out in all day long. It's ridiculous. So that leads to sad. Makes me sad.
I mean, it's the perfect acronym.
Oh, of course it is. Seasonal affect disorder. Makes me sad. It is an American... I wrote American Psych-Ass. American Psychology Association. NIH. It is on... Oh, that's where my information came from. The National Institute of Health. It's on the DSM-5-TR register as an active diagnosis. It is identified as a type of depression. Major depressive with seasonal patterns. Symptoms usually occur during the fall and the winter, Laura.
Yeah.
Are we surprised by that?
No.
I could have written this without anything from the National Institute of Health. In the U.S., it's the most difficult months for SAD are January and February. Yes. I actually, by March, I've had it.
Yes.
March kills me. It is a recurrent pattern that lasts 4 to 5 months. It is also known as the winter blues. I have the winter blues. It's more than the winter blues. 5% of adults in the U.S. experience, I really wrote this fast because my writing's something.
Oh boy.
Experience SAD, and it lasts about 40% of the year, which is what our winter is 40% of the year. It starts around the end of October, and we don't see sunshine and warmth really till May. June, around there. It varies, and this is going to shock you. This is going to be information that's going to blow your mind. It varies depending on geographical latitudes, sex, and age. Does that surprise you?
Not at all.
Yeah. That if I lived in maybe, I don't know, Roatan, Honduras, I wouldn't get it as much as if I lived in, the Yukon. All right. Younger people and women are at a higher risk.
Oh.
Symptoms of SAD. You're feeling sad or depressed. Loss of interest or pleasure in activities previously enjoyed. I don't want to walk at 8 o'clock at night when previously in August I would. Yeah. Change in appetite. What's my change in appetite? It rapidly increases. Yeah. Exactly.
I just want carbs.
Change in sleep. I don't want to get out of bed. Loss of energy, fatigue. I don't want to walk. I don't want to exercise. I want to put on my winter layer and I want to call it a day. It increases in purposeless activities, like wringing your hands, walking around. Like they say that's a symptom of it. I don't get that. You're feeling worthless or guilty. I feel guilty that I'm not working out.
Yeah.
I
feel
don't
guilty
feel
that I'm
worthless.
just sitting in my house.
Feel guilty that my pants are tight. I have difficulty thinking or concentrating. I don't have that problem because I'm reading like a bad boy now because I don't want to go outside. Thoughts of death or suicide if it's really extreme. And it typically starts between the ages of 18 to 30.
I can see that though, because like especially younger people, like everything is so based on like your social life, and then you're like inside, like
yes, and you can't get out. And I mean, remember going to clubs in February?
Oh my god, yeah.
And you weren't going to bring a jacket. And you're standing out in minus 20-degree weather to get in the club, freezing, but you look good. I'll be hypothermic, but I'm going to look good. Some other traditional symptoms: oversleeping or overeating, and it literally says power loading carbohydrates.
It's so weird.
What American chop suey, tuna noodle casserole,
no, I don't.
Mac and cheese, meatloaf, mashed potatoes. This is what I've been eating.
And the second it gets cool, I'm like, oh, I'm going to make a meatloaf.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Meatloaf, mashed potatoes. That comes out every time, and I feel like, oh, it's winter time. Yeah. And if a snowstorm's coming, I'm making cookies. Yeah. I'm cooking a stew, like
brownies, American chop suey, 100%.
Ridiculous. Yeah. And I mean, in 2015, we had a snowstorm every 3 days.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Do you know how much food we were going? It was insane. It was insane. So yes, tonight was. What did we have? Cranberry.
What did we have? Flatbread. Cranberry flatbread
with. Was it brie on top? It was fantastic. Mike made them. I sent Mike the recipe.
He's sitting here not answering us
I know he's not. He's writing in his phone.
This is what he does.
What was on the pizza?
Cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
Red onion. Balsamic glaze.
What was the cheese?
What cheese?
Mozzarella.
It was amazing. So I sent this recipe to Mike. I'm like, we so need this on recording night. And Mike produced, and it was amazing.
It was delicious.
He followed it up with chocolate chip maraschino cookies.
Oh,
fantastic. And then I wonder why my pants don't fit. All right, where was I? Okay. Social withdrawing, you're hibernating 100%.
Oh, yeah.
If I have a choice to stay home and watch TV on the couch with a heated blanket or go out, I'm choosing the blanket every time.
Literally, and I don't do that. And the other night he was like, oh, you want to go watch the game? I'm like,
no,
I don't.
I'm having a love affair with my heated blanket.
I want to put sweatpants on and lay it down on my
I'm in my
sweatpants.
blanket. I got the cats with me. I'm like, nothing's better than that. And the older I get, the worse that gets. Like, I'm like, oh, it's 4 o'clock. I can put my pajamas on. The sun went down. Why?
I don't know.
Why? Where if it's the summertime, I'm like, oh, let's sit out on the patio. Yeah. Let's have a couple of drinks.
It's only 4. We can do like drinks before and then go somewhere.
It's midnight. Dinner. Let's have somebody over. You know, like it's beautiful night. We're going to sit out all night. At 4 o'clock, I'm like, oh, pajamas, socks, you know.
Yeah.
And the bigger and warmer the pajamas, the better. Oh. Though, because I'm menopausal, I'm still sleeping with the windows open. Okay, so diagnosis is that the depression always occurs during specific months.
Yes.
There is a summer seasonal affect, which I can't fucking imagine who you must be unless you live in like in Antarctica where your summer is my winter or whatever, or your winter's my summer. I can't imagine what this is, but and it has to be, it's usually the winter months and it's for 2 consecutive years in a row.
No.
Causes.
It's been about 45 years for me.
It's been it got to the point, so as we know, Brian scuba dives. that I said to him, we're taking a trip every March, because by March, I am done. I take my trip in March, I get a complete full body rash, and then I'm happy because that's how much sun I'm going to soak in. Yep. So causes. The studies indicate that people with SAD, they have reduced levels of serotonin. This suggests that sunlight affects the levels of molecules that help maintain normal serotonin levels. Glad somebody had to explain that to me. Yes. Vitamin D deficiency can contribute. I mean, if we lived in England, you'd end up with rickets when you didn't get out in the sun. Obviously, the less sunlight, the less vitamin D. Question of altered levels of melatonin, which is the chemical that helps you to sleep. People with SAD have increased melatonin levels, which is why they are sleeping.
And why you're laying down on your couch
and with your blanket and your cats, watching God knows what on TV. All right, so the treatment, light therapy. And people do have these light boxes in their home, and it does say get up in the morning, first thing, 20 minutes of light therapy. Let the sun shine in.
It really does make sense. Like, and I make an effort because, like, before I go to work, and we're inside all day.
Yeah,
so we go to work. And then we come home, it's pitch black. We're inside. You can't even see the light. I don't know what it's doing outside. I'm like, I have to get outside.
Yes.
I have to get outside and see the sun. I have to feel the sun on me, whether it's freezing cold or not. I have to feel the sun on me, and I feel 100% better those days.
Agreed. We've had an exceptionally sunny fall.
Yeah.
An exceptionally warm fall. So yesterday was beautiful. Sun was out. Granted, it's only out for a couple of hours. But I called my friend. I'm like, let's go for a walk. We got to get outside because I want to get the vitamin D on my skin. I'm hoping it's going to make me feel better. But all I wanted to do when I come home is still sit on the couch and do nothing.
Well, because it's dark at 4.
But I did feel like, okay, I can have a devil dog because I walked, which totally debunks everything I just did. Vitamin D. You can increase your level of vitamin D. But for vitamin D to work, you have to be out in the sun. So if you're taking vitamin D, make sure you're also getting sunlight to help make the vitamin D do what it's supposed to do. Psychotherapy, if it's bad enough, go to your...
if you're like truly depressed, you have to have therapy.
And antidepressants if it's really bad. So now it just goes over, like I said, light therapy. It's a light box every day, 30 to 45 minutes, usually first thing in the morning. It helps you to get yourself going. Like, this is what I feel about when the people work days in the wintertime. They got to be in work at 6:30. They come out at 3:30. They never see the sun.
But you know what? I worked days this week like 3 times. Because I'm an idiot.
I know. I can't.
And I was like, oh, it's going to be dark when I go in and dark when I... It's sunny when you go in.
It's
sunny when you go in.
But it's not December yet. It'll get darker in December.
Yeah.
Because they go... I mean, I remember doing my orientation, and I was like, it's like February something. I'm like, shit. I would leave, it would be dark, and I would get out, it would be dark. So I don't mind doing my evenings because at least I get the sun in the morning. Oh, that's a different study right there. And then, I mean, the others were self-explanatory of... Obviously, you can get help from a therapist or from a psychiatrist. You can get your antidepressants if you need. And in a nutshell,
get outside, see the sun.
Yeah, get out and get out there. And Thanksgiving, go play your football game in the morning and enjoy it. It's a short, quick episode, but I promise you, December, we've got some fun stuff coming up.
We have 2 Christmas episodes.
Right, and they're just like a hodgepodge. We did a Christmas buffet this year, so you're going to have a little bit of everything in these episodes, and some of them are absolutely fucking hysterical. Yeah. So this was a quick little throw at you. We'd love to hear from you. Send us your emails. Send us your stories, whatever you have. I'm trying to think of what I was trying to say.
I know.
Jack's not coming home for Thanksgiving.
No.
Cameron's not coming home for Thanksgiving. Cameron's not coming home for Christmas either.
Jack will be home for Christmas.
So it's weird. It's weird not having him around.
I know.
You know, I was saying that the other day because Brian's like...
He's been home every Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, he's really been on your mind. I'm like, well, yeah, because I don't know when I'm seeing him again.
Right.
So I'm pricing out tickets. I'm like, maybe we'll go out in March. Maybe we'll do this. I'm like, I don't know. A small, little, tiny part of me hopes he's going to pull some stunt and come home for Christmas and surprise me, but I really don't.
It's a fast stunt.
It's a fast stunt, but I'm hoping beyond hope that maybe he'll show up on the doorstep.
Yeah.
But I doubt he will.
Christmas is weird without them.
It's very strange to not have your whole family together. And I'm just getting to the part like, you know, she'll be leaving for college. They'll both be leaving college next year. You'll have nobody left at home. I'll have one more.
Yeah.
But, you know, dinner is weird now. Like there's no...
It's me and him every night. Right, even though Sam still lives, he's working or at school. Like he's literally never home for dinner. Or I'm working those nights. He might be home. And I'm like...
Dinner time is gone.
Him and I for dinner.
It's weird. It's really a weird feeling in the house. Nobody's around. I'm like, huh, all right. Well,
it's like you got to keep busy. And it doesn't help in the dark
sun at 3:30.
Well, I'm stuck in the house with no one home.
All by my. I sing that all day. I'm walking around all by myself.
And so I
you
keep
know.
picking up work. It's mine as well.
Yeah, no, I stay home all by myself because I cannot go in there any more than I'm supposed to. I cannot bring myself to do it. So enjoy with your families.
Yes.
You know, don't give up on your families no matter what is going on, unless it's totally toxic. Spend time with your families. It's important.
Yeah, because it's weird when they're not there.
It's really weird when you don't have them around. Enjoy your kids while they're home because
Yes.
they leave real quick.
Very.
All right, so we'll see you for the Christmas holidays, Hanukkah holidays. All of our stories revolve around all the holidays. So enjoy your turkey, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Stuffing. Bye.
Like, subscribe, rate, and review the Scissors and Scrubs podcast on whatever podcast app you listen to us on. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Scissors and Scrubs. And email us any of your stories or thoughts to scissorsandscrubs@gmail.com.